Want to become the person everyone listens to and trusts instantly? Whether you're pitching ideas, leading teams, or just want to connect deeply, mastering influence and communication is your superpower. These 5 books are packed with proven techniques to help you stand out, persuade effectively, and be genuinely unforgettable. First up, Dale Carnegie's classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People, breaks down the timeless art of relationship building with principles that have endured for nearly a century. Carnegie's core message is simple yet profound. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. He teaches how to make others feel genuinely important, without resorting to cheap flattery, and how sincere appreciation can turn strangers into lifelong allies. For example, Carnegie emphasizes the power of remembering and using people's names, explaining that a person's name is to that person the sweetest sound in any language. This seemingly small gesture sparks immediate goodwill and personal connection. Another key insight is the importance of avoiding direct criticism. Instead of pointing out faults, Carnegie recommends framing feedback in a way that preserves dignity, such as praising what the person does well before gently suggesting improvements. He also encourages giving people a reputation to live up to, inspiring better behavior by expressing faith in their abilities. These tools aren't just social niceties. They're critical fundamentals to becoming genuinely magnetic in any setting, whether at work, in social groups, or family gatherings. Carnegie's principles foster trust and likability that open doors and smooth paths. Moving to a sharper, negotiation-focused angle, Chris Voss's Never Split the Difference takes hostage negotiation tactics and brilliantly applies them to everyday deals and conversations that require skillful persuasion. The core thesis: empathy and strategic listening win more negotiations than sheer logic and compromise ever will. Voss introduces the concept of tactical empathy, which means actively acknowledging the other person's feelings and perspectives to build deep rapport and trust. One powerful technique he shares is the mirroring method, simply repeating the last few words your counterpart says, which encourages them to keep talking and often reveals hidden motives or concerns. For instance, if someone says, "I'm worried about the deadline," you might reply, "Worried about the deadline?" This prompts them to elaborate, giving you valuable insights. Another technique is using calibrated questions like, "How am I supposed to do that?" These questions shift control subtly to the other party without triggering defensiveness, leading them to solve problems collaboratively with you. Voss also teaches the value of labeling emotions by naming what the other party is feeling, such as, "It seems like you're frustrated," which validates feelings and diffuses tension. These tactics make you not just heard, but deeply respected and influential in high-stakes talks, whether negotiating salary, closing deals, or resolving conflicts. Now, communication becomes even more crucial in high-pressure moments, and that's where Crucial Conversations by Kerry Patterson and his co-authors shines. This book teaches how to keep conversations productive and constructive when stakes are high, opinions vary, and emotions run hot. Its core principle is that mastering dialogue hinges on creating and maintaining safety. People must feel safe enough to speak honestly and openly. Patterson suggests recognizing signs when safety is lost, such as silence, withdrawal, or aggression, verbal attacks, and then intentionally stepping back to restore mutual respect before continuing the discussion. A powerful tool introduced is the state method. Share your facts first to avoid assumptions, tell your story by explaining your viewpoint without hostility, ask for others' views to invite dialogue, talk tentatively to show openness, and encourage testing ideas to validate understanding. For example, when discussing a sensitive topic with a colleague, you might start by calmly sharing observable facts, then explaining your perspective, and finally inviting their thoughts. This framework helps turn potential conflicts into breakthroughs, making you a calm, persuasive presence when it matters most. It also teaches techniques like using contrasting to address misunderstandings and mastering your own emotions to avoid derailment, essential skills for leaders, partners, and anyone looking to handle tough conversations gracefully. Shifting gears to personal magnetism and presence, Olivia Fox Cabane's The Charisma Myth argues that charisma isn't some elusive, magical trait reserved for the lucky few. It's a set of actionable behaviors anyone can learn and master. The core thesis: true charisma combines presence, power, and warmth in balanced harmony. Cabane emphasizes that presence, being deeply attentive and fully engaged in the moment, is the foundation of charisma. She suggests practical tools like focused breathing exercises or grounding techniques before meetings or social interactions, so people feel they have your undivided attention, which builds instant connection. Another tactic is projecting power without intimidation, using controlled gestures, controlled voice tone, and steady, confident eye contact that conveys authority without aggression. Finally, warmth through genuine kindness and empathy creates trust and makes others feel safe. Cabane also discusses how to handle nervous energy and project positive energy externally. Together, these elements make you magnetic in every interaction, whether you're a public speaker, a manager, or simply meeting new people. Her approach demystifies charisma, showing that with practice, anyone can radiate confidence and likability that draws others in. Lastly, Made to Stick by Chip Heath and Dan Heath explores why some ideas stick in people's minds while others vanish without a trace. The key thesis is that sticky ideas share 6 key traits. They are simple, unexpected, concrete, credible, emotional, and story-driven, summarized in the memorable acronym SUCCES. For example, Heath illustrates the power of using concrete imagery through the famous Subway weight loss campaign featuring Jard, who lost 245 pounds eating Subway sandwiches. Using a tangible, vivid story made the message relatable and memorable, transforming an abstract idea into something real that people could connect with. Another technique is incorporating unexpected twists or counterintuitive facts to capture attention initially, then connecting emotionally to make the message resonate deeply. For instance, instead of listing benefits, telling a relatable story about struggle and success engages listeners emotionally, making the idea more likely to stick long-term. The Heath brothers also emphasize credibility, backing claims with statistics, expert testimony, or vivid details, and using stories to engage the listener's imagination and feelings rather than just presenting dry facts. Mastering these principles makes your messages impossible to forget and impossible to ignore in a crowded world of information. Together, these 5 books give you a comprehensive toolkit to win friends, negotiate fearlessly, handle tough conversations with grace, radiate charisma, and craft unforgettable ideas. The result? You become someone people naturally listen to, trust, and want to be around. If you want these skills in your everyday life, hit subscribe so you won't miss our deep summaries on each book. Comment below, which of these books are you reading next?